Last week, I received a YouTube comment from a subscriber saying, "Thanks so much. Would really appreciate a video and insights about applying to software engineering in Singapore in 2023 from Chris Victor." Thanks so much for your comments. I think this is a very great question. I do have some videos about software engineer interview process and also the resume, etc. on YouTube. And on the other hand, I also have some free contents on RAD. If you understand Chinese, I highly recommend you to check out my RAD account. Choosing is always more important than hard work. Take an example. I know a very hardworking junior and he joined Indeed in Singapore not very long ago, and he got laid off just after working 1 month. So he just graduated and he's a foreigner, therefore he was taking an EP, and after got laid off, he only has 1 month to find another job in order to get an EP, otherwise he has to leave Singapore. Therefore, in this video, I'm going to give a guide to the software engineering opening positions. In this video, I'm going to break down into 3 categories because software engineer can join different industries, right? And I will break into 3 industries. The first category, which is the tech companies. In the old time, it is called FAANG, Facebook, Apple, etc. Right? But many of these big dogs are not very safe right now, and they're laying off. So, what are the possible and safer players in these tech companies? It can also be divided into 2 smaller groups. The first one is related to AI. In the AI sector, there are a few different layers. The first one is the manufacturer or infrastructure, which is the chip maker. For example, NVIDIA is definitely a big winner here. And second is on the implementation layer, for example, Palantir, OpenAI. And third is kind of like the traditional player, for example, Microsoft, Google. They're investing very heavily in AI technology. I know they're laying off, but compared to other kind of big dogs, they are safer. Apart from these companies in these 3 categories, I will not recommend other smaller AI companies, because for those companies, they're burning a lot of money and they do not have a positive cash flow. And especially in 2023, the financing tools are becoming less, and therefore they have a greater possibility to get bankrupt. Therefore, AI, there are a lot of opportunities here, definitely, but it's also a risky play. And the second part is more about streaming. In the streaming sector, there can also be divided into 3 categories. The first one is CDN player. So if you don't know about CDN, basically it is content delivery network. So whenever you are watching, for example, YouTube video, right, or download a very big content on the internet, it is always looking through the CDN. And one of the biggest players here is CloudFront. So CloudFront is also another company that is not laying off over the past years. The second category is product. And of course, the biggest winner here, no doubt, is TikTok. And if you know, TikTok is the only company that is actively hiring employees for software engineers in Singapore. And third, smaller category, which I would say the niche market, which is cybersecurity. Don't overlook about this market, though the revenue that I can make definitely cannot compare to like CDN or product category, but it is a very stable category because right now we just want to play safe, right? And one of the biggest companies here is called CrowdStrike, and it is also hiring in Singapore. And on top of these 2 categories under tech companies, I would still recommend one company, which is the company that I'm currently working at, which is Grab. I can see Grab is very stable. Basically, Grab is also not laying off employees over the past years, but it is also not actively hiring neither. So whenever there's a great opportunity, I would strongly recommend you to try out at Grab. Therefore, if you find a suitable position at Grab and want to have a referral, feel free to reach me out. Okay, so this is the first big category, and second big category is crypto. If you're doing crypto, you will know Singapore is the paradise for crypto. For crypto companies, we can break down into 2 small categories as well. First one is the brokerage. So brokerage is basically like the trading platform, the exchange. I will mention 3 big dogs in this category: Coinbase, Binance, and OKX. Coinbase is a public company and its main focus is in the United States, the US market. Binance is more like a global market and it is the biggest exchange in the world. And OKX is more focusing on Asia, excluding Singapore. That's a interesting thing here. So these three companies are still hiring in Singapore, but I have to mention Coinbase was laying off a lot of employees last year, so bear in mind. A second type is crypto trading. For crypto trading, there are a lot of players here. I definitely cannot have a list here because for crypto trading companies, they're small companies, right? Maybe range from less than 50 people to 200 or 300 people max. These companies are actually making revenue by trading crypto using the brokerage. For example, most of the companies are using Binance. So for brokerage companies, they'll have their developer APIs, SDKs. So whenever someone wants to do the trading, right, they can integrate their algorithm, their strategies by using those platforms. Whether crypto is the future, I don't know. But I have to say, for most of the crypto companies, their offer are quite generous, much more generous than tech companies. And now it moves to the third category, which is systematic trading companies. So what's the difference between the crypto trading company and systematic trading company? Systematic trading company here, I'm referring more to the securities, for example, stocks, bonds, options, etc. Right? But for crypto, they're more focusing in the cryptocurrencies only. So usually for systematic trading companies, they will have much larger capital in order to invest because first, the stock market is much larger than the crypto market. And second, the brokerage they're using will charge much higher commission fee and also platform fees. And also they will require a much faster and powerful server in order to do that. So usually they will build their own server instead of using, for example, AWS. And usually when talking about systematic trading, there are also two big categories. One is high frequency trading. That is the most common one. And the second part, which is non-high frequency trading, right? So maybe they will do some swing trade. So some big docs here are like Jane Street, Houston River, Jump Trade, Citato, etc., and also Two Sigma. For this systematic trading company, they're really looking on the IQ for the candidates, and also their benefits are even better than crypto, and of course, much better than the tech companies.